Hello, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Finals week is coming up and things have been kind of crazy. But that being said, I really wanted to talk about the Oscars because I have some mixed feelings. First of all, I thought the Oscars last night were pretty great. One of my favorite years for the Oscars, to be completely honest with you, and I'll tell you why. I like the no host thing. I like that you have a different presenter in between commercial breaks. I think that works really well, and it makes it feel more like a celebration of movies than like a big celebrity party, which it still kind of is just a big party for celebrities, but it's less of like a cringy comedy show with a bunch of gimmicks and little bits, and I just like this so much better. It feels a little more honest, and the biggest thing is it's focused on movies, as I think it should be. It's focused on the movies, and it's focused on the filmmakers. I loved how, for a lot of the categories, they would talk about the people nominated and say, like, this cinematographer fell in love with movies when he saw E.T. as a kid and blah, blah, blah. And I think that for a lot of those categories where you don't know the people as well, it was really nice to hear a little bit about them and about what inspires them about movies. And I liked that approach because in the marketing and everything, they were marketing it much more as a celebration of the movies, and I really felt like they did that successfully. And I liked the smaller venue space because it made it feel a little more personal. I prefer it over like the big crowd, and I don't know, it felt a little smaller and more personal, and I know they did that for COVID reasons. And speaking of COVID, the no masks thing, it was a little weird. I don't know. I know it's like they were filming a TV show, which, you know, they were filming a TV show. And so they just followed like the normal filming guidelines, but I still feel like it could have been nice to be like, I don't know, setting a good example. We're all wearing masks, we're all being responsible. But I trust that they did a good job behind the scenes following guidelines and things like that. But it did feel a little strange to see like this big maskless gathering while the rest of the world is sort of still dealing with things. Even though light at the end of the tunnel, I got my second COVID shot yesterday, so things are going in a good direction, but not to get too sidetracked on that, I liked the venue, I liked the format, I liked the focus on movies. Now I want to talk about the Best Actor decision, not just the decision of who won, because, listen, I think Chadwick Boseman should have won. I think Chadwick Boseman is a brilliant actor who was taken from us far too soon. And it's his last chance. It was his last chance to win an Oscar. And I think that an Oscar was an inevitability in his future, had he, had as long of a career as he should have. And I don't think that's an unfair thing to consider when considering who should have won. And it's okay if you disagree with that, if you think it should just be the performance and forget the outside world. But art can't exist in a vacuum. That's my big thing. It's like, people think you should have ignored I have a whole video about this. People think they should have ignored the cultural impact of Black Panther and just considered it as a movie. And I actually disagree with that. I think that the cultural impact of something, of a movie specifically, is part of you can't consider a movie without considering the impact that it had on the world, and Black Panther had a considerable impact on the world. So that's sort of separate. I'm just saying that I think Chadwick should have won, and it's okay if you don't agree with that. I have nothing against Anthony Hopkins. I think he's a brilliant actor, and I think all 5 of the men in that category were equally deserving of that award. Riz Ahmed actually had my favorite performance of the year. But look, that's not the part I'm mad about. I just think it was such a bad decision to save it for last. They've never done that before, and it's just so obvious that they did it because they thought Chadwick was going to win and they could close the night on a big emotional moment that everyone was going to remember, and that was going to be the highlight of the night. Chadwick Boseman wins a posthumous Oscar, and that didn't happen. And I just think that was such a stupid gamble. And I know they're going to say it was like to honor Chadwick, but it feels more disrespectful than honoring, because you just were sort of, playing off of people's anticipation, and I get that that's kind of their job, but it just felt sort of slimy and dishonest, and I didn't like that they saved it for last. I just didn't. It just wasn't a smart move because, you know, most people saw that award as being between Chadwick and Anthony Hopkins, and knowing that one of those men was not there, well, neither of them were there, but that Anthony Hopkins couldn't give an acceptance. I mean, he wasn't there. And so it was just so underwhelming. And I don't hold that against Anthony Hopkins, by the way, because he's 83 and he didn't want to travel across the world because of COVID, and that's completely fair. He put out a little video this morning where he honored Chadwick and said he did not expect to win. He was asleep during the awards last night. So nothing against Anthony Hopkins. To sum up my feelings, I think Chadwick should have won, but I'm not necessarily angry that he didn't. I saw someone who tweeted, like, I'm not hung up on it because I know Chadwick wouldn't have been, and I think that's a great point. So that's not the thing I have a problem with. It's more that they saved it for last, and it felt weird and disingenuous. And it sort of overshadowed what was otherwise, I thought, a pretty good Oscars. Actually, a pretty great one. They focused on movies, and that's all I ever wanted from this. And so I was very happy with the fact that they talked more about movies and spent more time talking about the filmmakers than they did doing silly gimmicks and stupid jokes. Except the one gimmick thing they did was they had, I forget the guy's name, but he went into the audience and like asked people to guess if the song they were playing had won an Oscar, and then Glenn Close did the dance thing, and it felt very uncomfortable. And they were already like 10 minutes over their time slot. I was like, why are you doing this? It just didn't make any sense. That was the only gimmicky thing of the night, though. I really did honestly like it. I liked the format so much better. Just so much better. And the focus, for the first time in years, I think, was honestly in the right place. The movies and the filmmakers. And not a bunch of dumb jokes. And the showcase for some comedian who is hosting. That's my feelings on that. So, my only two things that I didn't like were the decision to make the actor categories last, and the weird song guessing game. But all of the other awards that went out, Chloe Zhao won Best Director, second woman ever to win that award. Incredible, completely deserved it. Nomadland, Best Picture. My favorite movie of last year was Sound of Metal, but Nomadland was equally deserving. That's the big thing. Like, some great people and some great movies were nominated this year, and even if I had a slightly different list of who I think should have won or who my favorites were, I think everyone who's nominated was really deserving, and everyone who won totally earned it. And I thought it was great. I gotta be honest with you. Aside from those couple things, and the Best Actor thing at the end was a pretty big thing, and that was a terrible decision. I was pleasantly surprised with the Oscars, because I feel like they sort of, and it sucks because this is probably going to be, and I wasn't able to find the numbers before I filmed this, but the lowest ratings ever, probably. I mean, it probably is going to be the lowest ratings ever, but it was one of my favorite Oscars I've ever watched, because I just remember, you know, watching Jimmy Fallon and I don't know who, Ellen, I think, and, you know, just sort of cringing the whole time. It was like just a 3-hour comedy show, and it just didn't feel like a celebration of movies, and this did. So that's sort of my bottom line. I didn't want to do a bunch of editing for this video, so thanks for sticking with me. Not because I didn't want to edit, but because I wanted you to have my genuine feelings on this. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and like and all that good stuff. It's awesome when people do that. So please do that. Trying to get to 200 subs, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.